Oh shit! There's one.
Like a circus down there.
Yeah, right?
What's going on, guys? Bassin' Up Muffin here, coming at you with a new video for this week. In this week's video, we are going to change up the pace a little bit from bass fishing, and we're going to do a little trout fishing. This was a pretty tough day, but we still managed to catch a few, and one almost took my rod away. So stay tuned. At the end, we're going to break it all down and go over a little bit of what we did that day and our rod setups. So, without further ado, let's just get into it.
Look at that tank, guys. What a giant. Dumb bluegill.
So first I start throwing around a little piece of power bait worm on a jig head and just popping it around underneath a float. Now I pick up my other rod that I rigged up with some power bait and chuck that out here.
There's one. Finally. Oh shit! Throw him on the stringer.
Where's it at?
You have mine. I left in the truck.
Like a circus down there.
Yeah, right.
Would that be?
That one grabbed the freaking power worm.
Crazy.
That was ridiculous.
Yeah, there was no getting the camera on that one.
That one just had to grab that little chunk of power worm freaking sitting there.
Huh?
I said that one didn't even have power bait on it. That just had that little power worm sitting there. And he grabbed a hold of it while it was floating around. Must have started like a little feeding frenzy or something. Uh-oh. Stupid bluegill. That was on the power bait. Damn it. I knocked all my damn power bait off because I stepped on it.
I did that earlier. More or less just made mine like super dirty.
Yeah, that too.
I had grass in it.
Yeah, I got grass and mud.
Mud.
Where are you at? Right there. we go. Decent trout from today. Only got 2. It was a pretty dang slow day. But power bait did them on all of them. About 15, 16 inches. Put them in the truck. Well guys, here we are at the portion of the video where I break it down a little bit. I am going to show you the rod setups that I was using and the rig setups that I was using as well, as long with baits. The one trout rod that I was using, that I had my dough baits on, was this Berkeley Trout Dough Series rod with a loose Wally Marshall reel. And then I had this one set up with a bobber, a tiny split shot, and a little hook to put the power bait on. And reason why I was fishing it with a bobber is because a lot of times in these ponds that get stocked with trout, especially after the first couple of days of people fishing for them real hard, there's a lot of times power bait floating around everywhere, and all these fish will go around and pick up that power bait and eat it. So having your power bait floating, now since power bait is a floating bait, you want to have something to weight it down. That's why I put that little split shot right in here. But I had that bobber up there to keep it floating around but under the surface a little bit, and that looked just like a little piece of power bait floating around, and of course you saw that it worked. And that can work a lot in times that the place gets really pressured and they're not really biting. You can try that, and sometimes it works and you can fool a few off doing stuff like that. And the power bait that I was using was this garlic scented tequila fire is what it's called. That's one of my favorite colors of power bait all around. And then the other rod that I had set up, I was using my Enigma Aaron's Edge bass rod. The reason why I was using this one is because in the pond especially, it helps me get a little bit longer of a cast out there. I had some Gliss 20-pound braided line on here with a 6-pound fluorocarbon leader. On this one I just had 6-pound mono. And on this rod I had my little power worm. I had a little pink power worm, and not the full power worm. I just had a little bit of a snippet on there and put it on a 1/16 ounce jig head, little round ball jig head, and had a bobber above that as well. Bobber styles, it don't really matter what kind you use as long as it keeps it floating. I like this kind personally the most. It's got a little weight on the bottom. It helps keep the bobber straight, and these are a little smaller too. But depending on what kind of rod you use, like if you're using a floppy little trout rod, it makes it harder to cast. But on a bass rod, they're a little bit stiffer, so it can help you whip it out there a little bit more. That's why I was using that. And that's pretty much all we did to catch the fish that day. It was a pretty slow day. They were getting hit real hard for probably a week or so before we got out there, so it just happens with pressure. But happy to catch some, and my good buddy made them into a smoked trout dip. I unfortunately didn't get to try that, but he said it was delicious. And with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Get entered into my giveaway by being subscribed to the channel. You can comment for another entry, and you can also share it on one of your social media pages and tag me in it. Definitely tag me in it, or I'm not going to know you shared it, and that'll get you another extra entry. But as soon as we hit 1,000 subscribers, we're going to be giving away a bait cast reel, either a Shimano SLX or a ATK Crazy Proficiency. I will get those once I've figured out a winner, because I want to make sure that if you're left-handed or right-handed, I get the right one. So get entered into the giveaway, and we'll see you next Thursday, guys. See ya!